Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrity couples with a big age difference. Number 10. Sam Taylor Johnson and Aaron Taylor Johnson, 23 years. In 2008, Aaron auditioned for the film Nowhere Boy. The film was Samantha's directorial debut, and when Aaron walked in, she found the leading man in the film and in her life. And while a 23-year age gap might seem like a big deal to some, Aaron told The Telegraph UK that, quote, "When I met Sam, I'd already lived a life far beyond that of most of my contemporaries." The actor and director kept things very professional during the making of the movie. They still had not been on a date or kissed when the film wrapped. But the moment they were done, Aaron told Sam he was going to marry her. Number 9. Jason Statham and Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, 20 years. We'd love to tell you how these two met, but we don't know. Some reports have them meeting at Coachella, while others put it on the set of Transformers: Dark of the Moon. We do know that it was in 2010, and while the 20-year age gap did raise some eyebrows, Rosie has said that they, quote, "have a connection that has nothing to do with age." For those curious about wedding bells, Rosie has said that she believes in marriage, but, quote, "being in a happy relationship is much more important to me."
You know, we definitely talk about it. We're looking forward to that time, but it's also not a huge priority to us. We're so happy.
Number 8. Elliot Spencer and Stephen Fry, 30 years. Comedian, actor, and writer Stephen Fry has been a staple of the British comedy scene since the 1980s. And speaking of the 80s, his husband, Elliot Spencer, was born in said decade. As you may have expected, there were some shocked onlookers given the age gap between these two. But as you also probably expected, Spencer shot back at the haters, saying, quote, "I don't care what people think. Stephen is the love of my life, the light of my life." Number 7. Ben Kingsley and Daniela Lavender, 31 years. From Gandhi to a sexy beast, Ben Kingsley has played many roles over his long and illustrious professional career. And the same is true for his private life, in which he has played the role of husband 4 times, including his marriage to Daniela Lavender, which began in 2007 when he was 63 and she was 32. While the 31-year age difference is a lot, it isn't new to Kingsley, who in the 90s dated Kate Townsend, an actress who was 30 years his junior. They dated, but no, she is not one of his 3 ex-wives. Number 6. Warren Beatty and Annette Bening, 21 years. Carly Simon, who has said that the second verse of her famous song You're So Vain is about Beatty, when talking about having dated the famous actor, followed it up with, quote, "Hasn't everybody?" And that was very true, until he met Annette Bening for lunch to prepare for their co-starring roles in 1991's Bugsy.
The way you were staring at me, I thought you were going to ask me for something a little more exciting.
Like what?
And that was it. The 50-something-year-old Beatty had found his perfect someone in the 30-something-year-old Bening. And his bachelor days were over. They were married in 1992. Number 5. Harrison Ford and Callista Flockhart, 22 years. Sure, the odds are really low that someone who's never seen the original Star Wars movies would end up married to the man who played Han Solo in those films, but you know how Han feels about odds. Yeah, it's true. Callista Flockhart had not seen the films when they first met, and as she told Jimmy Kimmel, she had no idea what a Millennium Falcon was for quite some time. But that and the 22-year age difference were no match for the true love that started to bloom between these two when they first met at the 2002 Golden Globe Awards. According to Callista, she even sometimes forgets how big the age gap between them is. Number 4. Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones, 25 years. Douglas and Zeta-Jones share a love for each other and a birthday. Yep, Michael and Catherine were born on the exact same day, September 25th, just 25 years apart. After seeing her in The Mask of Zorro, Douglas, like pretty much everyone else in the world, wanted to meet Zeta-Jones.
I think it's not taking the person closest to you for granted.
They ended up meeting thanks to being introduced by a fellow actor while they were both in Europe for a film festival. They were married in 2000. Number 3. Rod Stewart and Penny Lancaster, 26 years. One of Stewart's biggest hits, Maggie May, was based on his experience of losing his virginity to an older woman. And while his first time was with an older woman, he has spent the years since 1999 with a woman 26 years his junior, whom he met when she accepted a dare from her mates to request an autograph from the singer. Penny was in her late 20s at the time, and was studying photography. The next night, she found herself invited to a show to take pictures of Rod. Stewart got her phone number, but didn't call her for 6 months.
But anyway, the rest is history.
Number 2. Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor, 32 years. Paulson and Taylor started dating in 2015, 10 years after they first met. This was two people meeting at a party and being attracted to each other. As the Marcia Clark actress told the New York Times, Taylor was, quote, probably the most exquisitely beautiful woman she'd ever seen. But both women were in relationships at the time. So that was that. Cut to 10 years later, they meet again, they're both single, and they start following each other on Twitter. And anyone who thinks that older people don't understand social media should know that it was Taylor, then in her early 70s, who first slid into Paulson's DMs. Number 1. David Foster and Katharine McPhee, 35 years. The two first met during her run on the show when the 22-year-old performed Whitney Houston's I Have Nothing, a song that Foster wrote. Even though there are over 35 years between them, this meeting led to a great friendship. And Foster even played piano at McPhee's wedding when she married Nick Kokas in 2008. McPhee filed for divorce in 2014, and she and David were spotted getting cozy in public in 2017, right around the time that his fourth divorce was being finalized. McPhee and Foster married in 2019 and had their first child together 2 years later.
Someday I'll wish upon a star